All right, welcome to this week's Ask GMBN, where myself and Henry are going to try and answer your questions submitted in the comment section below last week's Ask, or sent in using the hashtag AskGMBN. Right, I'll kick it off with one from Vorname Nacho.
He might be taking you for a ride with that name, because it's got name at the both.
I know.
At the end of both.
I've never heard a name like that before. Anyway, right, thanks for making all these cool videos. No worries. The question is, in 4 weeks, I have an enduro race, and my new Radon Swoop 29er will arrive in about a week. The last 3 years, I was on a Canyon Stride 27.5. Is it smarter to race the older bike that I know really well, but the suspension, brakes, shifting are older and a little worn out? Or is there no point in saving the new bike? Do you have experience going from 27.5 to 29, and how fast do you think I'm able to adapt? Henry, you ridden both wheel sizes?
To me, a good bike's a good bike.
Yeah.
You know, I hop on some 29ers and I feel immediately at home. Similarly, I hop on I think even a couple of years ago, I used to be like, oh my God, but it's because all the angles were so cross-country-esque. It wouldn't even bother me. I'd happily...
I would be excited. Sorry to interrupt. Jump on the 29er. I've actually done it. First round of the British Enduro a few years ago. I had a 29er. I thought it was going to be better for that race. It was a pretty trail-centric race. And I literally had the bike finished the day before the race, jumped on it, and I think I came second to Dan Atherton. So I would say, like you say, if it's good, it's good. I would just jump on it.
I've hopped on some bikes before and just felt so immediately at home. And I think... I know, especially if you talk about like worn drivetrain and stuff. If you're racing, you don't want to be...
Yeah, I don't want to be risking it.
And mess around with that sort of stuff. And new bikes they're so quiet and nice. I don't know why I'd be just too excited to even think about it.
Exactly, yeah. They're exciting to jump on the things and ride. I think the only thing that really makes a big difference is sort of buzzing your bum on the rear tyre, jumping from to the bigger wheels. I think they can, in some places, take a little bit longer to slow down, especially on... like really fast stopping things. I think it's harder to get behind the bike, but I mean, it's tiny really.
But also, I suppose some of those same problems are actually specific to the place you're riding.
Yeah, definitely.
So actually, if you ride on the practice day, I wouldn't want to ride the one bike on practice and race the other bike, but both days on the same bike, it wouldn't bother me too much. I'd be quite excited.
Jump on it, I reckon.
So, the next one is from Christian, and he says, "Hey guys, I've converted my 2018 Cube Stereo 140 PC HPC with Newman wheels to tubeless, and I saw Doddy's guide on doing it. So far it was a total success and I love it. The only question remaining is, when or why do I check and refresh my tyre sealant? I hope you have an answer to this. And I keep going on my channel."
It depends on the brand of sealant, or they're all a little bit different. Eventually, they'll sort of work into a bit of a ball, and you'll probably feel it. If you ever take your wheel off and shake it, you sometimes hear this rubber ball rolling around inside and doo, doo, doo.
I'm pretty sure it's actually what the coral reef is made out of. That stuff.
Yeah, it's weird.
You'll sometimes see a school of fish floating about.
But I think it normally takes a while. It probably depends on things like temperature, where you live, etc. I've seen some brands have like a little dipstick almost. You take your valve cover out, you dip it in, and you'll be able to see how much is in there. To me, it almost seems as easy just to pop the bead off and have a look.
Yeah, I think normally with most stuff now, you tend to get the life of the tyre. But
yeah, true.
If you're a real hard rider, riding on alloy quite narrow rims, sometimes it's worth checking on the outside of the tyre to see if you've got any burp or any dirt's accumulated where you have been burping. Yeah,
right. You see a bit of like a wet mark where dirt sticks to the sealants come out. I mean, I only ever check it if I've had a problem. Sometimes you'll take the tyre off and now you go, wow, where's it all gone? And it's sort of dried out and stuck to the inside of the tyre, but it takes quite a while to do that, I think. If you've not seen this video, check out how to repair tubeless tyres.
We often talk about tubeless tyres as giving the best all-round off-road performance for a mountain bike for a few reasons. Firstly, you're removing the weight of an inner tube from that tyre and replacing that with some sealant. That sealant patches up small holes whilst you're riding, and of course there's a decreased chance of damaging anything by running at lower pressures. You're not really going to get a pinch puncture, which would happen with inner tubes. Now, depending on what type of sealant you have, the amount that you put in your tyres and the conditions you ride in, a hot climate or a cold climate, your sealant will naturally dry up after a while. Now, there's a few on the market that do claim that they will never dry up, but typically the more effective ones, like the latex-based ones, they do kind of have a sell-by date because the nature of them working means they will dry up. So, before you actually go worrying about all those punctures, you're going to need to make sure you stay on top of the sealant in your tyres. Now, generally you can hear it sloshing around a bit on the inside, and if that's the case, you can just monitor when you're not hearing that anymore, it's probably time to add a bit more in there. You can obviously manually check by removing part of your tyre and actually having a look inside there, and of course that gives you the opportunity to put some fresh sealant inside.
Okay, next question comes from Joel Bourgogne. Hi there, what do you think about SRAM Brakes, the Guide Ultimate? Opinions?
Well, I think they're a really nice brake. Sometimes they get maybe a bit of, I suppose, I wouldn't say it's a criticism, but because they aren't as powerful as the codes, but they're not designed to be.
True.
And people say, oh, they're not as powerful as the codes. It's like, and? Do you know what I mean?
I remember the bad old days, and it wasn't that long ago. It's probably when they were Avid brakes, actually, rather than SRAM, and they were terrible. Or could be good, could be absolutely horrendous.
Yeah.
It was back in the old days where I worked in a bike shop for a while, and if I ever saw another Avid Juicy, was it 5 or something like that?
Oh, yes, no.
The pistons were just C's, they were terrible.
But the new... With the guides, if you can get ones that have the sealed bearing, says the guide R, then the guide RSC. So the C is the contact control or the contact adjustment, which is a luxury but not important. But the RS at least, because that means you're going away from the bushing into a sealed bearing, which not only feels better, but I'm pretty sure it's got a slightly different lever actuation, so it acts more power into the brake.
I didn't know that. I didn't know what the acronym stood for.
I mean, someone might correct me. I'm pretty sure that's it. Also with the Ultimates, so you get the Guide RSC, then you get the Guide RSC Ultimates.
Yeah.
The Ultimates have the telescopic pistons. So they actually have a set of normal pistons, and then from inside them, peekaboo, there's even more pistons, which actually aids modulation and heat dissipation and things like that.
I think SRAM brakes now are brilliant. They used to be a bit rubbish. My codes on my Nukeproof Mega are amazing. Best brakes ever.
The codes are
super
lovely.
impressive. Yep.
So, Dylan Jones, he wants to know, would it be better to buy old suspension with good specs or new one with, and he specifically says terrible
specs. So what, an old one with more adjustment or a new one that is basic? Don't know, actually. An old suspension depends how old and used it is, because eventually it's going to get worn out, the bushings will need replacing, the stanchions are going to get worn down a bit. So if it's in good condition, it depends how old it is, it's probably all right. But I think loads of people who can set up a new suspension fork with loads of adjustment can be really bad.
Yes, that's exactly what I was going to say. Yeah.
If you don't know what you're doing, you can make that fork terrible.
It's like that Fox grip damper is a really good example. Yeah. Because for somebody that essentially doesn't know what they're doing, the normal grip damper is actually a better option than the grip 2.
Because you can't mess it up.
Because you can't
it's
go wrong.
Pretty good.
Yeah, it's actually, for most riders, even really good riders, such a good damper.
It can be one of those things where you're almost oversold something. You think, I need that best one. But actually, for most people, you might not. You might be better off with that lower spec one.
Oh, totally, yeah. I think it's... Yeah, no, if there's so many variables, what do you mean by old? And what do you mean by terrible?
Yeah, true.
Because one man's terrible is actually, so hard to say.
Okay, Robert Coates, have you thought of doing a GMBN event with riding and a live GMBN show like the GCN has done recently? Did you see all that? They did
it was pretty cool
train thing out in Majorca. Well, funny you should say that, Robert. It's definitely on the cards, so keep your eyes peeled on our channel, on our social media. In the next few months, hopefully we'll be able to announce one of those coming up. This summer we're doing sort of putting our toe in the water of doing these live events, hopefully at something in the UK. Next year, hopefully we'll go into Europe with it. So yeah, exciting. Your eyes peeled.
Sweet. Adrian, he says, when are we going to be able to buy those cool fisher hats that Blake and Neil wore at the Andes Pacifico?
Oh, the green fisherman's hat. Well, Blake went fishing in it, didn't catch anything. Well, actually, you can't buy... Yeah. You can't buy those, I'm afraid. Blake actually made them. He sewed on those patches. So, yeah, sorry. Can't buy them. You have to make himself.
Yeah. So Ralph EMTB. Now he says, how are you supposed to clean helmet inner padding since they get sweaty? Hand wash or machine washing?
I always chuck them in the washing machine. I would say be careful when you take them out, because it's really easy to pull the little Velcro bits that stick to the inside helmet. Yes. If you just go, they all come out as well, and then you'll never quite get them back on as they were.
I don't know if this is me though, but do you find once you wash them once? So I'm pretty sure they come originally with its I'm going to sound crazy saying it, but it's got some antibacterial thing in there. I'm pretty sure it's like
I don't know, actually.
It's like, how silver's a really good antibiotic. Sometimes they come almost like a solution like that.
Right, okay.
And so I feel once you wash them once, they do get even smelly, so you have to wash them more often.
So no, never noticed that. To be honest, I don't do it that often. I don't know, a few times a year. Probably a bit gross that,
but they're quite cheap now to actually buy.
Yeah, true.
And they're actually readily available. A couple of years ago, it's kind of you get a set of pads for life, really, and that was you all done.
Chuck in the wash machine. I wouldn't probably tumble dry them.
That's it. Yeah,
just dry them as you can. Yeah. Right, JMB Productions. Hey GMBN, my disc brakes always contact the bike when it's leaned over in corners and stuff like that, but the caliper is centered correctly and doesn't rub when the bike is upright. Any suggestions? Something sounds like it's moving, I would say. What do you reckon?
Yeah, it sounds like maybe a bit of play in the axle.
Wheel bearings, I thought maybe?
Potentially. I mean, if you think about all the... So when you look at a bike and all the cornering forces that go through it, you'd be amazed about how much it does flex.
I've seen slow-mo of, especially the back tyres, back rims, really moving around, and even discs, I suppose.
But that said, the disc is on a very short... is not very far away from the axle.
Yeah, right.
So it should limit its flex. If it's there, it's probably not likely to be due to frame flex, and actually more likely due to be like some kind of setup issue in the hub potentially.
Could the the brake mount, that could potentially be loose if the caliper's not quite cranked down, but you'd probably notice that, I would have thought.
And sometimes with the big rotors, because how to put this, big rotors, the bigger the rotor is, the more it will tend to warp at heat, I kind of feel. So maybe if you're going really hot on the brakes into a turn, then actually you're hearing isn't actually about flex, but just about heat. Yeah, right. Heat dissipating, potentially.
I'll start with giving the wheels a wobble. Make sure
totally,
nothing.
Yeah, just
axles
a good
are tight.
Too.
Wheel bearings are tight. Another way you can check wheel bearings is like I always do it. Pick up your front wheel, grab the fork, lower, and just spin it around. You'll feel something in there probably if you're starting to go. Check your bike.
Yeah, that's it.
Right, time for correct me if I'm wrong. So, as always, keep sending in your videos via the uploader. So you can find the link for that down below this video, and we'll try and check out this video and give some advice. So this is this is ITS, an acronym for a name. Riding a Ryder Shark 27.5 in the bike playground in Manila. Check out this place. So he's been hitting this jump for a long time, so many times I just can't seem to send it.
Oh, let's have a look at that again.
Look at this place in Manila. It's like a leisure centre with a tarmac pump track.
This actually seems similar to the fly up.
Yeah, right.
They've got something similar. If that's worth checking out, actually, it's pretty cool, man. So he says, I think my speed is lacking, but sometimes the others land this with the same speed as mine. I'd say, speed's pretty good. You can always pump a bit harder. I always try and pump a bit further back on the bike, so over the rear tyre to get a bit more speed. Do you not think also it's actually the transition as he comes into it there? It's actually the transition before the takeoff.
Yeah, right.
He doesn't seem actually potentially that active on the bike, maybe?
Yeah, that's the one, that sort of bomb hole before the takeoff.
He really needs to be lifted up.
Yeah, really pumping in.
Yeah.
And it's always a bit of a bunny hop technique to get the height. So if people are clearing at the same speed, you obviously need to make more height, and that is really just a case of a hop. So a nice little pop out of the lip and you'll clear it out.
Did you know, science fact for you, it's actually impossible to not talk about transitions on jumps without going...
Yeah.
It's impossible. So you need to hit the transition and then the jump.
Yeah.
Why is that? We need to have like our hands locked to the desk.
Well, Martin normally has. Where he is. Martin would have been doing this. Anyway, keep sending your videos via the uploader. We'll check them out. Leave your questions down below. And if you want to see another video from South America, where we're donning those hats over there for that one.